Welcome back. Today I'll be covering the basics of subject verb agreement. I'll be giving you a few tips, tricks, and an acronym. Now, if you have gone through the sample paper of CBSE for 10th class, you must have seen this question number 7 of the grammar portion. And in this question number 7, part 2 deals with subject verb agreement. So here it is a very simple question, but sometimes we can get a question which seems to be a little tricky one. So how to deal with those tricky questions? I'll be dealing with few tips, tricks, and one acronym. So let's get started. So first, the basics. So in case of present tense, in a sentence, verb should agree with the subject. So this is the common thing that we are told, that verb, it should agree with subject in number. Number means whether it is singular, plural, and in person, that means first person, second person, or the third person. Now what this means? For example, in this sentence, he plays football every day. Now here subject is he, and he is singular. Person, of course, it is third person. Now if we talk about the verb, so verb, we have to check whether singular verb should come or plural verb should come. Now if subject is singular, so we must have a singular verb, and plays is a singular verb. Now why plays is a singular verb? So this sometimes is a confusion. Let's first take this sentence. They dash football every day. So now out of play and plays, what will come here? Now they is plural. So that means a plural verb should come here. Now out of these two, play is a plural verb. So tip number 1 now is that for plural verb, there is no need to add s to the root form of the verb. So from the previous example, play is a plural verb. Now what does this mean? So if we have, for example, these three verbs, these are the root form of the verbs. That means the first basic form of the verb. So how will we make a singular and plural of these verbs? Now if we have to make a singular of a verb, we have to add s to it. S of singular, it is added to the root form of the verb. So just remember this. Singular of a verb, it is made by adding S of singular to the root form of the verb. Now nouns, we know they are, plural of nouns is made by adding S or ES. Whereas in case of verb, singulars are made by adding S. So in case you forget this, so just remember that we have to take S of singular and add to root form of the verb. So for dance, it becomes dances, and it's plural. You are not to add anything. It will remain dance. Then suffer, suffers. Again, S is added for singular, and suffer, the plural remains as such. Try, it becomes tries. So again, S will be added, and plural, it remains try only. So this is tip number 1. Remember that S of singular, it is added to the end of the root form of the verb. जो S है singular का, वो root form of the verb के end में लग जाएगा. So just remember this. Now the thumb rule. So there is one thumb rule also. Now let's take this example. The price of cars dash reduced recently. So whether has will come or have will come. Now here we are going to discuss the thumb rule. Now the thumb rule is identify the true subject and go according to that. So identify the true subject means जो असली subject है, the sentence which is talking about that particular subject, you have to identify that. जैसे ना in this sentence, the price of cars dash reduced recently. Is the sentence talking about price? Yeah, sentence is talking about cars. So you have to identify cars subject hai ya price subject hai. So for that you can pose a question here. What reduced? So we can ask a question, what reduced, or sometimes we can ask a question, who. So who or what, whatever answer comes, that becomes the subject. So what reduced? Price reduced, not the cars. So that means price is the true subject and price is singular. So a singular verb will come here. Now out of has and have, has is singular. So we are going to write here has. So has is the answer. So this is tip 2. Wherever you are stuck, अगर किसी भी sentence में मुश्किल आ रही है, so then try to identify the true subject there. Now moving on to the rules. You will be taking this test first. There are 25 questions. Try to solve these, and after this I'll move on to the answers. So here are your 25 questions. These are 8 questions. In the next slide there will be the other questions. So take a pen and pencil and start writing these answers. So in the brackets you are given, you have to choose out of the words in the bracket which will come in the blanks, and after that I'll be discussing the answers along with the rules. So these are the next ones. The next. And the last two. So you can pause at the slide wherever you want to and write the answers. After that, when I'll be discussing the answers, you match your answers, and then you can learn that where and why you were wrong. So like this, it will be more interesting. So now the answers. So the first one, nobody dash to cry. So it is nobody likes to cry. Now why it is nobody likes to cry? So go on to the singular pronouns. So all these pronouns that are written here, another, anyone, anything, anybody, each, everything, everybody, everyone, every, either, much, no one, nothing, neither, nobody, one, something, somebody, someone, and many. So all these take a singular pronoun. Now there is no need to learn all these. You'll come to know and you will remember this. When I'll move on next, I'll tell you how to do that. But remember one thing, that all the words starting with every, like everything, everybody, everyone, similarly anything, anybody, anyone, so they are all singular. So once you will revise a few of these sentences, then you will have knack of it. Now next sentence, the football team dash won. So football team has won. Now here the whole team is being taken together. So committee, crowd, jury, class, majority, club, team, family, army. So these are usually considered as singular. Therefore, they will take singular verbs. So just remember these words. So usually they are considered as a whole. But in case they are talking about individuals from a group, so then obviously you will be writing a plural verb. But mostly they are taken as singular. Now similarly, police dash caught the smugglers. So police have caught the smugglers. Police is taken as plural. So let's see all the other words that are taken as plurals. Staff, congratulations, cattle, thanks, fishes, audience. Earnings, goods, odds, surroundings, proceeds, contents, and valuables. So these are always taken as plural. So these nouns are considered plural. They are collections of single pieces kept together. So because of this, they take a plural verb and have no singular form. So this also applies to pair nouns. Now what are these pair nouns? Nouns where two things are joined together. For example, glasses, scissors, tweezers, trousers, headphones, tongs, pliers, tights. So where there are two parts of the same thing. So but if the word a pair of is written in front of it, then they are considered singular. Now, information, research, education, they take singular verbs. So you need to remember such exceptions. Information, research, education, they take singular verb. Now the next one, a few of these books are torn. So now the rule is both of, a few of, many, several, they take plural form. So we can judge from these words only. Both, they means more than one. A few again more than one. Many again more than one. Several again more than one. So they are plural. They take plural form. Now next, half of the students dash sleeping. Now in this case, what we have to do, you have to identify the subject, whether the subject is countable or the subject is uncountable. So the thumb rule, you remember, you have to look for the subject. Now in this case, half of the students they are countable. So that means we are using are, a plural verb. Half of the class. Now here class, it is not countable. So half of the class is sleeping. Now 70% of the people, again people, they're countable. So they are poor in India. So sorry, like this I should do. Then 60% of the country. Now here country, obviously it is uncountable. So 60% of the country has agriculture as the source of livelihood. So you have to take care whether the subject is countable or it is uncountable. Now this sentence. In case of an interrogative sentence, you know that the subject and the verb position that changes. So now here anyone. Now if you remember in the previous question here, the singular pronouns, anyone is included here. This we have here, anyone. So that means anyone has to take a singular verb. So singular verb here, since it is a question, so we will have here does. Does is a singular verb. Now for the second blank, we have to choose out of has or have. So again, as I have told you, that does we are taking here, does anyone, and do, does, and did, they always take V1, first form of the verb. So that means here we are going to have this one, have. And since the subject here, here we have I. So I will also have, it can only have. So that is why this is our choice. So does anyone have pencil I could borrow? So this becomes the sentence. So you have to take care of these little things. Now next, $60 is too much to pay for that dress. So $60 amounts, even if plural, they are taken as singular. So $60, or suppose it is 7 kilometers, so they are taken as singular. Now almost all of the water dash contaminated. So water here you have to see whether it is countable or uncountable. So water, it is uncountable. So we will have is. Almost all of the water is contaminated. Now in the next question, almost all Toyota cars. So cars, it is countable. So we will have here a plural verb. So have brakes and clutches produced by SN. Now next, you understood the assignment. So you, we have to choose from has or have. So I and you take plural verb. So this is the rule, this is an exception. I and you, they take plural verb. So you have understood the assignment, because otherwise you is singular. So we should use a singular verb here, but this is an exception. I and you, they take plural verb. Now bread and butter dash my favorite. Now it is a rule that suppose there are two things or two subjects that are joined by and, so they take a plural verb. But in this case, bread and butter, if it is representing a single idea, so this is important, so they become compound nouns. So bread and butter, it will become a single idea, so it will take a singular verb, that is. So the answer becomes is. So here we have to write is. So other examples of this are rice and curry, hammer and sickle, horse and carriage. So these are all compound nouns and they will take singular verbs. Age and experience, crown and glory, slow and steady, truth and honesty, rise and fall, eggs and bacon, flesh and blood, fish and chips, breaking and entering, bed and breakfast. So these are some of the compound nouns which often come in exams and the question seems to be tricky. But if you remember that these are compound nouns, they will take singular verb. Now next, the director and actor dash feeling low today. Now in this case, again there are two things or two subjects. They are joined by and, so they should become plural. But they are talking about single person. Because if it had been the director and the actor, then they would have been two different persons. But the director and actor refer to the same person. Therefore, again it is singular. So we will be using is. Is feeling low today. The same person is both the director and actor of a movie. If they are different, it should be the director and the actor, as I just said. Now, either grandpa or my cousins dash going to the movie. Now, in this case, when a sentence is having either and or, so you have to check the subject that is near to the verb. So remember this, subject that is near to the verb. Now here we have to write the verb here. So the subject near to the verb is cousin. So it is plural. So that means our answer is going to be plural. So our answer is R. Either grandpa or my cousins are going to the movie. So next, neither jazz nor classical. So again here verb will come and the subject near is classical, which is singular. So our answer it is. So neither jazz nor classical is my favorite music. Now neither dress dash her. Now neither, because here we don't have nor. So in the previous sentences, again let's have a look. We had either or and neither nor. But in this case, it's only neither. And only neither and either, they come under singular pronouns. So that means they are singular. So if it is only neither, then it is singular. So neither dress fits her. And singular is formed by adding s of singular to the base form of the verb. So neither of my best friends. So again it is only neither. So that means singular. So neither of my best friends was around. So we are not to see the subject near to the verb in this case because it is only neither. Nor is not here. Now one of my sisters. Now here one of my sisters, again one is included here in singular pronouns. So is going on a trip to France. So just remember this. Most of the software now and most of the people. Again here we will be checking whether the subject is countable or it is uncountable. So most of the software is outdated. It is uncountable. And here most of the people, they become countable. So most of the people are likely to be infected. Now in this case there is another rule here. The following indefinite pronouns, they can be singular or plural according to the context, like most. So these two sentences of most. In this case, most it is singular, whereas in question number 22nd, most it is plural. Now you have to remember these six. So here is an acronym to remember this. So just remember these and rest you need not remember because then in flow you will be able to do this. So the acronym that I have formed is NAM SAM. So from N we have none, then all, then more. It becomes NAM, and then SAM, some, any, most. So just remember these six because these six, they can pose a confusion. They can be singular and they can be plural. So in case of these six, you have to identify the true subject, the thumb rule. Follow the thumb rule, identify the true subject in these cases because these can be plural and these can be singular. Like in this case, I identified it that whether software is countable or uncountable, whether people is countable or uncountable, and then decide. Now, none. Now, none, it is a special case. It is very versatile. So, at one time, the verb that followed none, it was always singular. But now the choice of verb depends upon context. So none of the cake and none of the students. Now none of the cake dash been eaten by the party goers. Now here none of the cake, it is singular. Cake is singular. So we will be using has. It has been eaten by the party goers. Then none of the students, again we have to decide students, it is countable. So none of the students dash invited to make a speech. Now here was invited to make a speech or were invited to make a speech, both are actually correct. Now why? So here there is confusion. So although none refers to plural noun here, students, as I have identified that we can count students, it may have either a singular or a plural meaning. So depending on the author's focus. Now if the focus is on each individual, not one, that means singular, then the verb, it will be singular. But if the focus is on group, that means not any, then the verb should be plural. So this is little confusion. That means you have to check in case of none what is the context. Now if the sentence means not one means ek bhi nahi. Remember, not one means ek bhi nahi. So then it is singular, but it will be plural if it mentions of if the context says not any. That means koi bhi nahi. So not any means in a group, together in a group, koi bhi nahi. Whereas not one means ek bhi nahi. So if it is ek bhi nahi, so you have to use a singular verb. If it is koi bhi nahi, then it is a plural verb. So just remember this. Now question number 23. Priya no less than Meena dash at fault. So here the subject is Priya. No less than Meena is just an addition. So singular Priya, so singular verb. So other cases are as well as with or together with, in addition to, not besides, no less than. So these are the other cases like this. Now another example is the headmaster together with all his senior teachers dash come to the meeting. So has or have. Now again the headmaster is the main verb. The main verb is headmaster. Together with, it is an addition. So together with, it is an additional remark. It introduces a remark in addition to the main part. So here the main part or the true subject is headmaster. So we have to take care of headmaster. So this additional remark is also known as parenthetical remark. So headmaster dash come to the meeting, has come to the meeting. So this will become the answer, has. Now 24th, these scissors dash sharpening. So these scissors, it is always taken as plural. So plural verb is without s, so need. These scissors need sharpening. So some nouns, they are plural, they are fixed. So they always take plural verbs like spectacles, glasses, trousers, scissors, savings, steps, stairs, thanks, congratulations, customs, wages, outskirts, goods, jeans, etc. Now the last sentence, more than one student dash tried it. So the expression more than one, it always takes singular verb. So just remember, wherever there is more than one, so you have to write a singular verb there. More than one student has tried it. So these are the basic 25 sentences of subject verb agreement. I hope that it has helped you. So do like my video and click the subscribe button, and also I will be giving in the description box the link of the videos on analytical writing, bar graph, line graph, pie chart and links. They will be given in the description box. Also look at the playlist. So playlist, it includes the chapters and the poems of 10th class, so it will help in your revision for your CBSE board exams. So I hope this is going to help you. So one part of your grammar, it is revised. Bye for now, and next I'll